Welcome to Leaseweb Tech Talk, the podcast exploring tech landscape, cloud hosting, and IT infrastructure. Whether you're a professional or new to tech, Leaseweb Tech Talk got you covered. Join us for latest trend, business cases, insightful interviews, and useful tips. Hello everyone, your host Pamily Subhan. Welcome to Leaseweb Tech Talk. Today with us, I have Eli, who is Senior Solution Engineer at Leaseweb US. Thank you, Eli, for your time. And it would be really great if you can introduce yourself to our listener.
Oh, thank you, Pamely. I'm honored to be here. Yes, my name's Eli Lair, Senior Solutions Engineer for Leaseweb USA.
So Eli, we see this trending topic, the subject everyone speaks about, especially everyone in the IT and tech, when we talk about data center, storing data, about you are causing so much harm to the planet, the use of energy. So sustainability is the hot cake in the industry. So what's your take on it and how you see it?
Well, it's certainly more important now than ever. It seems to be a concern that we all share, whether you're in the industry or not. And obviously these news stories are making it into our homes, again, whether you're related to IT work or not. We'd be foolish to ignore it. It's very clear that the IT industry is growing rapidly.
Yeah.
And everyone expects our impact to only become greater in the future. So I think there's some wisdom to trying to tackle those problems early. The more we can do now, the better things will be 5 years from now, 10 years from now.
Exactly.
So
we all are putting the effort to make our planet a better place for future generation.
yes.
So the most important question what I want to understand is why sustainability is important for us and for everyone.
Right. Well, because I think it hits at us at every level.
Yeah.
IT is any form of technology. It sort of involves being invasive to the earth a little bit. And this is the height of technology that we've created in our society. And so its impact is, it can be overwhelming, I think. We're not the biggest or the worst, but we're growing faster than all the others. And so we will become the top producer of CO2 eventually.
Yes, causing the global warming.
Yep.
And we're all, of course, trying to reduce that. And at least, like, I was just reading this news that we are losing the glaciers in North and South Pole. And that's definitely alarming for us. And what you see is the impact of IT or just like Leaseweb, who all the businesses, IT infrastructure businesses in data centers. How do you think how it's making a shift for those companies?
Right. I think pressure, if we really want to make change, has to come from the bottom, from the customers.
Yeah.
You have to start asking your providers what they're doing for the environment. How are you helping? And eventually, if you don't like the answers, you have to put pressure on them. So for now, I'd like everybody just to ask your provider, what are you doing? How are you helping? What's your carbon footprint look like these days? If we don't let businesses know that we as consumers are interested in making decisions based on these things, they have very little reason to change, right? So that's why I say this is an important problem for everyone to focus on, because we're the ones that can change it.
Yeah. Do you get customers who specifically ask that, hey, do you guys Are you guys sustainable or are you guys green? Do you get this type of question and how you handle them?
We do get this question. We are more and more. Over the past 5 years, it's become more and more frequent, and I would say that it's part of nearly every conversation now. Again, the media has really done a good job of making everyone conscious about this. Some of the decisions are within our control, and some of them seem like they're not. So again, you have to put some pressure on us, right?
Yeah.
Some of our data centers are very efficient, and some of them are very old.
And I want you to give our listener this information why data centers are not sustainable or why data center cause harm to the globe. Because many might just think, oh, it's just a data center. So how are we doing? Because that is my question. When the first time I entered the tech industry, I was like, oh, the data center cause global warming, and how does it happen? And it took me time to educate myself. So I think it would be interesting if you can educate the listener that how data center actually cause harm and contribute to global warming.
Very good. Well, most of us have computers in our home or in our office, and we we know that they put out a little bit of heat and they make a little bit of sound. The ones that we put in the data center put out a lot of heat and they make a lot of sound. And that's okay because they're
not regular PCs, right?
And they're not there with you. There's no humans there for them to interrupt. So it's okay if they're loud. It's okay if they're hot. But in any machine, the sound is essentially wasted energy, and the heat. It's either it's already done the work, right? It's exhaust, and we stack a lot of these machines together in a very small area because nobody wants to listen to that noise or feel that heat. We put them out on the edge of town where they can be serviced by the industrial district, and as a result, we see a lot of electricity going into a very small area, and we see a lot of heat coming out of that same space.
Yes, and we also have to have the data center air cons because they need to stay cool, right?
It's true. Humidity is also an important part of that fact. If it's too dry or too wet, then you have problems, and so you always have to control the environment. And
that brings me to a Reddit question. So I was reading this Reddit conversation where someone was asking, if you have to use air conditioning in a data center, then why don't you put data center in cold countries, maybe Scandinavian countries or countries where it's all year round, it's winter cold? And what's your take on that?
It sounds like a beautiful idea. It does, and it's been tried. It's people have put serious
Does it make
effort
it sustainable?
It doesn't, because you're just exhausting the heat directly into the cold environment. It's you've just moved it a little bit, we think of the air as being fairly clean. We breathe it and it's okay, but there's a lot of debris in it. And when you have an air conditioning system, there's a filter in front of that, and all that data center air is totally dust free. For the operations of the machines, it's important. And if we just open the windows, lets in the outside air along with all the dust. And,
yes, exactly. And so that brings me to a question where how can a company or how can a business or enterprise make sure that they are sustainable, they are taking sustainable steps, and what guide would you like to provide them?
Outstanding, yes. Again, I believe it starts with asking questions. Speak with your rep, find out what they know. Ask them to find out more information. Every operation is a little different. The locales are important, I think. For example, there might not be renewable energy sources in some areas. We deal with a number of markets in the US, and some of them have a lot of access to hydropower, wind power, and some are fully reliant on fossil fuels a little bit. So when your rep asks you where you want your server to be, that's maybe a chance you have to make a difference there.
Okay, and what are the initiatives you see, because US or the Silicon Valley itself is known for the tech hub or the tech capital. What are the initiatives you observe in the US market, or what are the sustainable trends you see in the tech market in US?
I have to give a lot of credit to the main manufacturers. Every year they produce machines that do more work. You're more efficient, right? That's the name of the game. The problem is our appetite for this is increasing faster than the efficiency is increasing. So I think that's how I'd answer that. I feel like it's a lot of that's on the manufacturer's shoulders. They're the ones that are digging up the earth and producing these things, but they consistently give us more efficient things every year.
Okay, so there is a very interesting perception among the businesses or business people is that, hey, we want to be sustainable, so let's not go with servers, but let's go with cloud. So please explain this, and please also shed light if cloud is actually sustainable.
Outstanding, yes. This is an easy one if I can use a metaphor, which would be like taking the bus. Instead of driving your own car, right? A bus puts out a lot of smoke, and if you look at it, it goes, yeah, that's a lot. But when you divide it by the number of people that ride the bus, you see the impact is actually much lower. And so I'd say, yes, use the cloud.
Because you're sharing the responsibility.
Yep. Those machines are already on. They already exist. They already have power running to them. So there's no additional impact. If you order a server, then that's an additional device that has to be built, shipped, powered,
managed, and then the amount of emission is going to do. But so there are also a lot of concerns, especially for companies who need high compliance, say fintech and all. And they usually, it's like there's a concern of the security with the cloud, and they would opt for server or something that gives them more confidence. And what would be your message for them to shift to cloud for a better sustainability?
Right. Well, the cloud's not new anymore. There was a time where I could see, you don't want to trust it because it's a new thing.
Yeah, you have hesitance.
But I think the market's done a really good job of showing us that it can be secure. The responsibility is always on us as system administrators, whoever you are, to make sure your systems are secure, of course. But
and do you see AI? We all are talking about AI. It's a subject of dinner table discussion now. So what are the roles you see AI playing for sustainability or towards the sustainability?
Right. I think, to be honest, I think this goes back to your initial question of why this is important now.
Yeah.
Because we are seeing an enormous adoption of AI and the technology that powers it. Which is to say, these were the devices we used to use to play video games, right? Graphics processing units, and then for a while they were used heavily in the cryptocurrency industry. Now that we have the general AI solutions out there, the need for these things is only increasing, and on top of that, they use a lot more power than a server does by itself. It's before this we talked about the CPU of a computer. That was the interesting part. Now we have a component that goes in the server, the GPU, that is more exciting, more interesting, can do more, but also uses more power and costs more money.
So are you going to say from CPU, if we are shifting to GPU, it's not greatly sustainable?
it's going to
makes it tough, right?
Yep. But at the same time, that's why we're tackling these problems now. That's why we're having these conversations early. So we set ourselves up now before things get out of hand.
There is a common perception. We all know that in US, the impact of global warming is huge. So is there any regulations or compliance you see from the government?
That is an excellent question.
Yeah.
It's not I don't have a very good answer, though. I think that it's going to come from the industry if we want to see things go green. The government pushes things the other way.
Okay, got you.
They say it's more important that it be reliable and always available in case of an emergency. So
mostly, I think government mostly focuses on the data sovereignty rather than the tech industry to be sustainable.
There's that fact too, right? So, data sovereignty is obviously very important.
But you, in the US, anyway, you guys see a big shift of sustainability.
Oh yes, most definitely. Those options really weren't there a few years ago, 5 years ago, and because there's been a push for that.
Yeah. And is there a difference between the US market for the industry, like in US industry about sustainability than with Europe? Do you see mindset change? Like how different is the mindset in the industry?
I think that this topic has a tendency to get highly politicized, right? And I think it's easy for any of us to fall into that gap a little bit and feel strongly one way about it or the other. And I feel like other parts of the world have a better objective outlook on things.
But thank you, Eli, for your time, and it was great speaking about sustainability because it's high time that we all who are in the tech industry, especially in the infrastructure industry, we speak about it and we really highlight this subject because we all need to be educated, and we also have to educate the end users and customer. So as we are towards the end of this podcast and our conversation, I wish I could speak more about it. But what would be your concluding words or concluding guide you want to give to our listeners and the end customer about the sustainability?
Everything we do is so we can make a better future for ourselves and for someone else. Don't miss out on this opportunity.
Yeah, it's a high opportunity, and I think it also building a lot of trust. It's about trust because everyone wants to make a contribution to a better world in future.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Eli. It was lovely speaking to you.
Likewise.
And thank you to all the listeners for your time listening to us. Please stay tuned for new and exciting topics that's coming in our podcast. We hope you found this episode insightful. For more content, like, share, and subscribe. You can also subscribe to our newsletter at leaseweb.com/newsletter.